Boom.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. After a thrilling Game 1 on semifinal Friday, we're ready for the nightcap. 7-seeded Chesapeake College Skipjacks against the 3-seed Montgomery College Raptors. Sebastian, let's start off with the thrilling finish that was the Raptors last night.
Yeah, that was. You want to talk about an emotional high?
Mm.
That they definitely had that, and they earned it. They came back from a 16-point deficit with 8 minutes left, and they ought to be commended for it. It was a huge victory for them, and now the challenge will be: can they turn the page so quickly? Because when you come off an emotional high like that, it's hard to, and it's a challenge to refocus.
Yes.
So we'll see if they can do that. They get some aid back as well. They had a couple of guys out due to injury that will return in this game, so that will help.
And then over the side with the Chesapeake, they had probably the cleanest game yesterday, winning by 13. However, they did suffer an injury. They're one of their best guys, Elijah Creedle's out with an injury.
Yeah, that's tough row for Chesapeake and whatnot. So it's tough break and for them, but hey, you got to play through it. And I wouldn't doubt this Chesapeake team. They faced a lot of adversity before, and with Cradle being being out, there's some it's opportunity for others to step up, and I expect for that to happen today.
And looking here quickly at the lineups here for Chesapeake. With Creedle out, we got number 1, Brandon Hooks. Number 3, LaShawn Moody. Number 4, Willie Jones. Number 15, Josh Rivers. And then inserted into the lineup, number 21, Shaft Clark. For the Raptors, they got number 5, Abraham Abdul Mateen Robinson. Number 11, Natus Spin. Number 14, Jordan Alfonso. And number 21, Franklin Easy Ito, who made the big three to put those Raptors ahead to advance to the semifinal Friday. And then lastly, at guard, number 23, Christopher Levy. And looking at tonight's officials here for the semifinal Friday game 2, Charles Willis, Rebecca Davidson, and Joel Franklin. And we'll be right back after this break for the announcements to be announced for the lineups, and we'll be right back. And we're here ready to start. 7-seed Chesapeake sporting the blue, navy, and green. And then here for Montgomery College, they're sporting the gray with the purple trim. 7-seed, 3-seed for the right to get to championship Saturday tomorrow, where Howard is waiting.
Yeah, so let's see what the pace of play is in this one. Will be interesting to see how they go about it. But if you're Chesapeake, you want to speed this game up, play within your offense. If you're Montgomery, how are they going to attack the Skipjacks, knowing that you're down shorthanded and and Skipjacks already play 7 guys, so it's going to be a really short rotation. Do they use their depth to take advantage of that?
Brandon Hook starts it off. Misses the shot. Great contest there by Ezekiel. And here come the Raptors on the other end. 3-ball, Franklin. Misses. Rebound by Willie Jones.
Yeah, good look for Franklin there, who we want to talk about big shot, hit the biggest shot of his life, Franklin Ezekiel in the last game versus Dundalk.
And there's Josh Rivers, misses the float there. Rebound by Alfonso. Abdul Mateen Robinson drives and creating some contact. And our first foul of the game here on the Skipjacks, that's Josh Rivers.
Chesapeake foul, number 15, Josh Rivers. His first to the team's first.
So now Levy will inbound it under the basket, number 23. And there's a cutting Abdul Mateen Robinson. Gives the Raptors a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, very strong cut to the basket there by Abdul Mateen Robinson. If you're Catonsville, you got to get it going early, and they're already facing an uphill battle. I think Coach Sachs knows the tough challenge that this game presents without your leading scorer.
And Shaft Clark with a big rebound. Willie Jones, stroke is a little long to the left. Rebound by Levy. And there's the handoff back to Levy. Abdul Mateen Robinson swings it over. Alfonso drives, Strongs to his left. And great block by Clark. Spain with the rebound, with the recovery. There's Franklin. Asiti drives. Stuck. Shot clock down to 1. Got to put it up. Alfonso.
He got a foul.
Might be a foul on the left hand of Alfonso.
Coach Sachs.
Oh, my.
Only took him 2 minutes and 6 seconds to be disgusted with our officiating crew. Then I'll be honest, I'm surprised it didn't take him in the first minute, but nonetheless, going to the line for 2 is Alfonso. I did think he got hit on the elbow on that last play.
And first one good for Alfonso. The lefty from Paint Branch High School, 1 for 2 from the line here. 3-0 is the score. Montgomery College up on Chesapeake. Clark drives, downs him in the paint, and gets too strong. First points of the game. 3-2 is the score. Raptors up. Shot is missed there by Matisse Speen. Moody has it. Ito on him, guarding. Drives right past him. High off the glass. Can't finish, but gathers his own rebound. Hooks. Over to Rivers. Willie Jones, corner 3. Gets it all of the backboard.
I think it hit the shot clock.
It might have hit the shot
not the
clock.
backboard. And that's what Montgomery's complaining about, which if it did hit the shot clock, that should not have counted.
And there's Franklin trying to get past Hooks, trying to press his way. Able to cause the jump ball possession arrow in favor of the Skipjacks. .40 left in the game, first half. Rivers drives, lane open, right hand high up the glass, and gets it to fall.
How about that take from Rivers? Rivers, you usually think of him, you think he's a three-point shooter, going up with the lay-in. very strong take, showing he's not just a three-point shooter.
Deep in the bag, and he was so smooth. Iceman George Gervin laying it up there. And they're going to call that every time, a shove there by Aisi Ito.
Love the fight that Chesapeake's showing in this one, and Montgomery a little rattled right now, and Chesapeake getting the opportunity to get the ball on the sideline and get up to potentially 10 points with a three, a two would get them to 9. But they're getting contributions from everywhere. Willie Jones obviously is an inside-out threat. Rivers has proven that he might be more than a three-point threat as well. So they're playing good basketball right now.
Be a foul there on the Raptors. It's going to be the first one on Abdul Mateen Robinson. And very quickly, that's a third team foul here in 4 minutes to play. Moody rebound, inbounds into Hooks. Over to his right. Pick set by Jones. 10 on the shot clock. Alfonso denying it. Hooks for 3. Front of the rim. Fighting for it is Aisi Ito with the rebound. He has it. Moving transition. Tried to drive, and Hooks picks his pocket. Moody against Levy and lays it in, and 1.
Chesapeake getting out in transition. They want to play a fast-paced game, slow down the Montgomery half-court offense, and that should lead us to our first media timeout in the game, I would think, with it being the under 16. It looks like it won't, and we're going to have a free throw. But nonetheless, Chesapeake going up and down the floor. That's the pace that Montgomery does not want to play with compared to others. And I think our scores table realized a little too late it was supposed to be a media, and now you'll get the media timeout.
When we come back from that break, the Skipjacks exploding out of the gates. They're up 10-3 on the Raptors. We'll be right back after this. Back live here. Game 2 of 2, semifinal Friday. Raptors, Skipjacks fighting for the right to get to championship Saturday tomorrow. Abdul Mateen Robinson kicks it out. 3. Missed by Levy. Robinson, second chance, gets it to fall.
Yeah, Abdul Mateen Robinson there getting it to go and whatnot. And big answer for the Raptors of Montgomery. Obviously the winner of this game playing Howard.
Alley-oop, almost successful for Clark.
Beautiful design play there. Clark just couldn't get the catch and the timing right. But love the play design there. I'm sure if they try that again and they get that open gap, then it will work.
There's Hooks guarding Benito Cala, number 3, just subbing in the game. Levy, floater, no. Fighting forward, Moody has the rebound. Coach Sachs calling out the offense for the Skipjacks. Jones, Hooks. Shot clock at 15. Clark setting the screen. Hooks uses it, step back three. Cash.
That's a gutsy shot there by Brandon Hooks, who's 0 for 2 prior to that. A very long deep three, and Chesapeake's not really missing much from their leading scorer, it looked right now.
And there's a wonderful block there by Clark, denying Alfonso.
Yeah, good block there by Clark. Montgomery, I think they got a little bit of a hangover right now from that crazy Dundalk comeback. They got to quickly reset and refocus because they lose this one. The Dundalk comeback's all for naught.
Clark misses. They're fighting for it,
Out of bounds.
and it's going to Montgomery. As we got a short line change here, we got number 32, Sebastian Ducom, subbing in. And then number 4, the man that was the centerpiece of the comeback last night, number 4, Ann Pascal, hit 2 big threes to get the tide rolling for the Raptors.
You aren't lying about that.
Mm.
And he was very big shots from a freshman nonetheless. Like the attempt at the hook shot there, just couldn't get it to go. But not only were those shots big, but you mentioned Sebastian Dokum checking into the game. Big on the glass as well. Montgomery, 27 offensive rebounds in their win versus Dundalk. He was a big part of that.
Steps back. Cash.
Crimson.
Let the Hooks hook in here in Howard. Second three for Hooks. Levy trying to return the favor. Does not. Dukem, Clark fighting for it. Jump ball. A little bit of aggressiveness. And the talking continues. Let's see. Assuming this is the jump ball, it's going to stay here. Sebastian with the Raptors.
Yeah, jump ball. I think good job by the referees trying to sort that out. You got a couple those are two very big guys.
Oh, yes.
Yelling at each other, and I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that melee. But good job by our referees to break that up. Montgomery with the jump ball advantage, and let's see what they can do with the baseline out of bounds.
There's the inbounds pass. Levy. Fowler. Guarded tightly by Moody. Shot clock is down to 5. Dokum. Screen. Pascal. Shot clock. 2, 1's got to put it up. Misses. Rebound Moody. Great defensive effort here by the Skipjacks early.
Yeah, you love those active hands. Montgomery has been a slow starting team more often than not, but at some point you got to get it together because Chesapeake, they can rack it up with points. That's one thing we know they can do.
The Raptors still sitting at 5 points. 4 of those points coming from Abdul Mateen Robinson, who's on the bench at the moment. Shot clock down to 3. Rivers, 3. Cash! Don't leave them open. Timeout called by Coach Wise. The Raptors are in shambles. The Skipjacks are starting to sail away here as we have a media timeout, and we're going to sail our way back here after this timeout. Tim Tootin Jr., Sebastian Merrick. See you in a bit. And back, 11:52 left. We've sailed back onto the broadcast. 19-5 is the lead here. Chesapeake up on Montgomery after a flurry of threes and defensive stops. Scala. Almost stolen. Yes, stolen by Clark. Active hands by the big fella. And able to draw the foul. And my goodness, they are locked in defensively, all of them.
Yeah, they definitely are locked in defensively. Chesapeake initially with a good job defending that screen and roll. They really had no issues getting over it, and then you get the steal later on in the possession.
Moody inbounds it to Hooks. Clark on the screen. Rare three for Clark. Can he hit it? Nope. Rebound, Abdul Mateen Robinson. Bounce passes it just out of reach there of Cortez Whitney. Number 0 just subbing in for the Raptors. Moody, in pounce pass, Clark. On Sebastian Ducum. Might have been partially blocked, great defense. Raptors transition, knocked away by Moody, staying here with the Raptors.
Yeah, Montgomery's got to get it going here. They're 5 points in 10 minutes is very unlike the Raptors right now. They haven't really gotten a flow or rhythm on the offensive end. I try to feed the big fella down low in Dokum. I think he's somebody that really can just get your physicality and assertiveness back. That's way off.
And that doesn't seem to be the game of this Raptors team. Missed three there by Abdul Mateen Robinson.
So this is something I've always wondered when it's air balls, and I've had this difficulty with the coach. When an air ball happens, do you give him a missed three or you give him a turnover? Because it's technically not a shot attempt. A lot of times when I was caught in that situation, I would usually let my player pick. I'm like, what do you want? You want the missed three or you want the turnover? But those are always some interesting things to think about.
Clark thought about trying the three again, but instead he drives and is able to get the contact and the foul there on Cortez Whitney.
So as you see, Clark got exactly what he wanted there. Clark had no intention of shooting that three. He
thought about it.
He wanted to sell it. He wanted Dokum to come out because he knew Dokum's acceleration and quickness isn't really there. And he knows with that closeout of Dokum, it's hard for him to reset his motions and whatnot. So it was an easy blow by once that closeout happened, and that allowed him to go to the line for two.
And comes up empty on the first one. And making his first entrance into the game for the Raptors, number 20, Thomas Lockery. Excuse me, Thomas Lockery.
I think you got it right the first time. Lowry.
It's
Lockery. Yeah. There we go. I'll take the L, my friend.
I got some talking to one of the staffers. He said it is Lockery.
I'll take the L. So our PA announcer will take the L too.
And I'll do my best to pronounce these as best I can. Raptors fans, please give me some grace. I can't pronounce Cortez Whitney, who knocks down the jumper hitters and ends the drought for the Raptors of Montgomery College.
Yeah, big shot there for Whitney, just to put a halt to this Chesapeake momentum. Chesapeake right now, just got to move on to the next play, which looks like they're doing. Get another good look on the offensive end, which they do.
A nice move there by Moody. Doesn't finish. Clark on the rebound. Too many Raptors in the area as Lockery steals it. And Whitney has it. Bring it up here on the right. Pick set by Dokum. Whitney behind the back. What a dime to Dokum.
Yeah, that was an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous feed with that help defender coming over. Dokum all by himself with about as easy of a basket as he'll ever get.
Jeff's kiss there by Whitney on the dime. And they're down now 11. Hooks, three. He can't miss. Third three for Brandon Hooks.
He is on fire right now for the Skipjacks. Brandon Hooks with 9 points, all 9 of them from three-point range, and a complete breakdown. on the defensive end. That's what happens, though, when you don't communicate. Moody and Rivers did not communicate, and that leads to an easy basket.
And three missed there by Rivers, a very rare off target.
You were ready to say you switched that. I thought it was going in too, so I can't blame you, my friend.
From any angle, that's a nice looking stroke.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt about it.
But advantageous there for the Raptors.
Skip Jackson, 6'6" freshman forward from Wilmington, Delaware. Number 22, Keon Lang.
There's number 22. There's Whitney. Lost the dribble. Gains it back with 15 on the clock. Drives. Mismatch on Clark. Lockery kicks it out. Pascal, 3 on cue.
Yeah, he hit a couple of those big ones versus Dundalk and close that game out, and he goes right back to where he started with that one. Knocks down a tremendously huge three for the Lions, or excuse me, for the Raptors of Montgomery. And now they're within single digits.
9 seconds on the shot clock. Willie Jones, quiet first half. What a dime to Clark, and one. Big to big.
That's how you respond with that. Montgomery making a little mini run, and you make a nice little feed. You got a very difficult pass that was made there by a big fella in Willie Jones.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't think he had that vision. No one did. I sure didn't think so. Makes a beautiful pass. Results in an and one as we go to our media timeout.
That's right. We'll be back. Back live here. Shaft Clark converted on the shot, looking to convert on the and one here. Does just that. Always important to knock down those free throws to continue to strengthen what's already a sizable 12-point lead, Sebastian.
Yeah, but as we've seen before, Montgomery has no issues coming back from big leads as they did in their last game. They've done a lot all season long, so Chesapeake's got to be careful, but they're doing some good stuff, especially on the defensive end.
As Alfonso gets his pocket picked, 3. Jones, Willie, cash in. That's the second one. Not the assistance to the top of the backboard on that one. And here come the Raptors quickly on the other end. Pascal cannot convert inside. Rebound Jones. Moody with the basketball. Moody drawing the pick from Lang. Gets it in the paint. Mismatch against the shorter Levy. Lockery applying pressure. Hooks. Willie in motion. 3. All around the rim. Moody rebound. Stripped by Alfonso of the Raptors. Levy. Pass a little far out of the reach of Abdul Mateen Robinson. And Cortez Whitney sitting back in here. Pascal heading to the bench.
Yeah, this pace is going to work for Chesapeake all game long. They want to make this a track meet. And if you're Montgomery, you got to try to slow it down before it's really too late. Because if you get into too big of a hole, you're going to have to play that style of game. But you got to slow it down, I think, if you're Montgomery. Or if you get transition opportunities, you got to make sure they're really, really good looks.
Lockery, 3. Back of the rim, Whitney fights for the rebound against the shorter Moody. Does that and is short on the shot. Saved by Hooks. Lockery, right hand, draws the foul, going to the line for 2. And Coach Sachs getting very animated.
Yeah, good take there by Lockery in terms of getting the opportunity, and he's going to go line for 2. But again, if you're Montgomery, maybe another thing you want to do defensively, change the lookups, change the looks up a little bit, and try to maybe give them something different. Maybe like you show a press or revert. Maybe as soon as they come across the half-court line, maybe throw a little blitz at them. I think what they're doing right now, they got to try to change something up just to throw Chesapeake a little off.
And make a little bit of run here as we're down to 5:56 left here in the game. Continue to cut into that lead. They sit here at 15 points, and there is, you said, there's the trap. Shaft, Clark, they got to get it across court immediately and just get it across.
Yeah, good luck there by Montgomery. And again, they changed it up. You really haven't seen that press early on in the game, but it took Chesapeake a while to break it. But they get bailed out with a reach.
It's going to be on it's going to be on Lockery. First personal, the 7th for the team. So fouls starting to pile up here towards the end of the first half.
But you take away that reach, and that was good, solid defense, and you can tell it kind of threw Chesapeake off. That's why I think you got to change the looks up a little bit just to give them a different thing to maybe think about.
As Shaft meets the front end of the one-on-one. So no harm, no foul for the Raptors. Whitney. Pick set by Matisse. Abdul Mateen gets his pocket picked by Moody. Saves it. A little long to Clark. Blocked by Levy. Clark gets it back, but it is a traveling. Excuse me, not Clark. That was Lang on the recovery. He travels.
Like the substitution here by Chesapeake, bringing Josh Rivers back into the game, gives you another outside scoring threat.
Go along with Willie Jones, inside-outside game. Still got Clark, who's been in fuego from the outside, 3 threes. Whitney, guarded by Rivers. Cuts into his right, spins, dribbles, stuck at the foul line. Siki Eto, fadeaway, back of the rim, nice rebound by Matisse. Levy, 3, can't cash. Another rebound knocked away by Jones. Staying here with Montgomery. Whitney looking. Finally inbounds it to Levy. Moody drives a big prop on the inside. You've never seen that many times before, but he finds the big man to score.
Yeah, and the fact that he was able to keep his footing there and not travel on that one is very impressive. It speaks to his balance and his low center of gravity, and very impressive. And that's hard to do.
Talk about a drastic move of Twister right there.
Yes, that's the perfect way of saying it. You would have seen a lot of other guards in that situation travel there.
There's Lang. Shot clock is down to 5. Hooks. Keep the hooks in. All 4 of them from outside.
So now that if you're Montgomery, you've seen him hit that shot multiple times. You got to make a defensive change on that. He's proven he can hit it. You got to have a guy closer on him. Be aware where he is at all times, because what's the definition of insanity? To keep doing the same thing
over
over
and
and over
over
again,
again.
expecting different results. So if you know he's hitting that shot from the same exact spot 4 times, got to bring a guy out to close out on him.
Well, he's going to try it on the corner, and guess what? It doesn't matter.
And I don't understand how he keeps getting these free looks. This is what Chesapeake wants too. If you're Montgomery, you have to have an eye on him at all times. They're just playing him very ordinarily, like you're very loose. Ayisi Ito on that possession was so far off of him down low, it's almost like he lost track of him, and that cost Montgomery.
And Levy does it the hard way. Gets this strong 2. And 2 minutes and 50 seconds left here in the first half. Skipjacks up 35-19 on the Raptors. Moody to his left. Jones. Lang called for it in the paint. Drives to his right. Out to Hooks. Drops in.
Got to reach in.
That's the second there on Asiki Ito. And we're here with a median timeout with 2:38. Skipjacks up 16. Back here after the media timeout. At the line is the sizzling hot Brandon Hooks. And converts the front end of the 1-1. His point total sits at 16. Sebastian 5 of 6 from downtown.
Yeah, he's doing what Cradle usually does, and as the leading scorer, he's just carrying the skipjack offense right now. Now it's 17 points, Hooks is, and he's just on fire. If you're Montgomery, you got to make somebody else beat you now. He's proven like, all right, he's got the hot hand. I need to go down. If I'm going down, I want to go down with somebody else beating me, not Hooks.
Lockery misses. Fighting for it. Shaft Clark with the rebound. He's going to bring it up as the Skipjacks get into their set. In the paint to Jones. Back out to Moody. Pick set by Jones. Shot clock at 10. Clark. Screen. Moody. Up and under. Blocked by Matisse. Lockery. Bounce pass. Whitney. Drives to his left. Over to Lockery. Corners. Comes in. Spin move. Pretty. And one. Thomas Lockery.
Very big answer there for the Raptors, and an excellent spin move there by Lockery to create the separation and go to the line for a three-point play. Impressive dribble drive, just happened to have Shaft Clark in the blender there. Which is a very hard thing to do because he can defend.
Yes, and he misses the free throw, but able to get his own miss. Kicks it out to Cortez Whitney. Misses the three. Matisse, another rebound. He's had a lot of second chance rebounds here in this last couple possessions. 1:30 on the clock. Cortez guarded by Moody in a straitjacket. Locktree, 5 on the shot clock. 4, 3, gotta go. Levy, shot blocked. And out of bounds. Great defense there by Willie Jones. Playing good defense there without fouling.
Yeah, you said it right there with the verticality, not horizontal, hands straight up, arms straight up. That was very well done by the skipjack defender.
37-21 is the score. The 7 seed Skipjacks up on the 3 seed Raptors. Rivers on the right wing with 1 minute left here in the half. Hooks, screen, drives, step back. Over to Clark. He drives. 5 on the shot clock. Spins and loses it. Active hands. Lockery. 3. Misses off the back of the rim. And give credit there to Levy. Getting the ball in the air, calling that timeout before he went out of bounds.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty surprised they gave that to him because he didn't.
Interesting.
Because he as soon as he got it, he was just in the air and he called it. And Coach Andrew Sachs also was like, I don't know, but it looked like he was able to pull it off and he got full possession of it and he got the timeout there. But for Montgomery, you've now taken 2 of your 4 timeouts. Usually go into the second half with 3 timeouts. Now Montgomery going to go in there with 2 timeouts.
To his credit, as we looked at the replay, it looks like he did the timeout motion before that foot hit the ground. So, and we're doing that. I guess he had some kind of possession, but then we started. We're talking about the NFL. What's a catch? What's not a catch?
Yeah.
And we don't want to get in that different sport.
Yeah, a lot of it's interpretation based and whatnot. So the ref obviously interpreted that he had full possession of it there, and they give Montgomery the ball on the side.
And they'll have it here with 43.7 seconds left on the first half clock. Got to give credit to the Skipjacks team. They are the highest remaining seed left here at the 7 seed. If they would go on to win here, they'll face that 1 seed, Howard.
Yeah, and if I'm Coach Jamal Wise of Montgomery, I'm drawing a quick hitter here, try to get a 2-for-1 scenario. 43 seconds. If I can get a quick hitter here at 38 seconds, then get another look to end the clock. I'm a big proponent, a big fan of a 2-for-1.
So Whitney will inbound it. And there's Lockery flashing at the bottom. Spain. Back to Whitney. Levy. Able to draw a foul.
Chesapeake foul number 15, Josh Rivers. It's second.
That's on Rivers. That's his second.
The game for the Skipjacks, number 22, Keon Lang.
Keon Lang subs back in. Bring a little bit more size on the floor for the Skipjacks here. For the last 36.8. Lockery inbound. And opportunity for a 3 if he wanted that. Levy drives against the bigger Jones and turns it over to Clark. A little out of control.
Timeout, Chesapeake.
And there is a timeout for the Skipjacks. I'm assuming this is the use it or lose a timeout, Sebastian.
This is the use it or lose it timeout. And that's Coach Sachs always likes to do that in those situations. He did that in the last game versus Cecil as well. He's definitely drawing something up here with it being a 30-second timeout. And he'll have a play. And I'll be interested to see what it is, but I'm going to guess it's going to involve some Brandon Hooks action here. Maybe you said down screen, try to get Hooks a decent look off the down screen. There's many things, and I say it's a lot. There's many different options here.
Yes, I was just about to
with
mention
these
that.
teams that have made it this far, they're so gifted in so many different ways that it creates that. It's not like, with all due respect to like Westmoreland or Beaver, where you have very limited options in terms of like what's the right play in terms of who can you trust as a scoring option. This is not the case, however, for these teams like Chesapeake, Montgomery, Howard, Potomac State.
Multitude options. You got Willie Jones, who's been taking a back seat, but still vaunted in the 3-point game. It's a dangerous pass. Clark finds Lang, and he's able to score. I mean, not score, draw the foul there. But a dangerous pass here along the baseline.
Yeah, and Montgomery and Chesapeake going to the line for two. Montgomery wasn't too happy as they thought they got away with a potential travel, and I think he did as well. As Clark tried to manage the sideline and kind of took a step before putting the ball down.
And first one is a miss there from Lang.
Re-entering the game for Montgomery, number 4.
And Pascal's back into the game here for the last 16.6. And misses the both free throws. Second chance. And before he can get the shot up, it is a travel there by Lang.
And I think you're going to see Coach Jamal Wise bring in a very familiar face in Franklin Naisi Ito come back, check back in as he provides that perimeter scoring threat. As this is the last possession here for the Raptors.
So all he needs is one to go down. 10 on the shot on the game clock. Levy. Pick set. Franklin in motion. 3. Oh, in and out. Moody at the horn. Shot is aired. And after one half of play, the high seed, Chesapeake, Skipjack, 7 seed, are up 37-21 on the 3 seed. Raptors, adjustments needed. We'll see you back here in 15. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back for the second half of the semifinal Friday. We got the 7 seed Chesapeake Skipjacks up 16 on the 3rd seed Montgomery College Raptors. First possession here, Skipjacks. Hooks lost the handle, able to retrieve it. Levy in his back pocket. Jones, a bad pass there to Jones, out of reach, and it's a turnover to start the second half.
Yeah, it's not the start Chesapeake was looking for coming out of the halftime break. Montgomery has done this before, time and time again, coming back from double-digit deficits. They did it with 8 minutes to go versus Dundalk.
They're not immune to it.
They're capable, so Chesapeake's got to come out with the same energy and intensity and focus that they did in that first half.
And 3 is missed. Hooks and Abdul Mateen Robinson fighting for it, and it's going to stay here with the Raptors. That was by official Rebecca Davidson. Had the best view there.
Yeah, and she made the right call there, as that definitely went off of Chesapeake on that one.
And there's a foul. That's going to be on Rivers, and almost like that one was all ball. And I think that's going to be the 3rd foul on Josh Rivers. Bill Mateen, float, off balance, misses. Clark rebound.
Yeah, a little bit of a forced shot in my opinion there. Just wasn't natural, contested. Want to get a better look than that.
Jones misses a 3 on the side. Josh Rivers, little strong, but the 10 is very kind to him on the roll. And on the other end, Moody gets the steal.
Yeah, very reckless lob, long pass there from Montgomery. No need for that in that situation after failing to secure the defensive rebound, and then they compound their mistake with that turnover by ECAA.
And there's Rivers on the curl. Corner, Jones, missed. Tipped up by Moody and hits the top of the shot clock. Raptors basketball.
Yeah, and I'm sure Montgomery was like, where was that earlier in the first half on that made 3?
Levy drives strong. And he's able to bump and get the foul.
Yeah, they need more from Christopher Levy, in my opinion. He has a lot of gifts, and he was a very uncharacteristic 1 of 7 from the floor in the first half. 0 of 3 from 3. That is not like Christopher Levy at all. I expect him to seize the initiative here, be a lot more aggressive, try to create some offense for himself, and gain more than the 2 points, now 3 that he has. I expect him to go off here in the second half.
Well, it's going to have to be a combination of points, source points from somewhere. Looking at the stat sheet, Whitney off the bench had 6. 3 with Pasco and Lockery. Abdul Mateen still sitting at 4. As Levy is now sitting at 3 points as he misses the second free throw. Moody, guarded by Aisi Atul. Jones, guarded by Matisse. Rivers, off the screen, strong, stop, float, circles in and out, fighting for it. Clark and Abdul Mateen Robinson into the hands of Levy. Swings it out. Matisse drives. Out to Alonzo. Nice gather. Off the foul and 1. And there's your source of scoring.
And you wonder how long Chesapeake's going to be able to keep this up, too, because in the first half, they only played a 6-man rotation. And they're usually 7 with Cradle, who's obviously not playing. How long can they continue to keep that 6-man rotation? How much stamina and endurance will they have to try to close this thing out? Montgomery can blitz you real quickly. We saw it last night. And Alfonso's going to have the opportunity to complete the 3-point player right here.
And he does just that. Carving out into this lead, 39-25. Skipjacks hold the lead. Moody dribbles over here to the right side in front of the skipjack bench, and he drives strong, left to right hand, gliding and scores.
That's what he does. He can attack that basket, and he can score at multiple different angles, just like that angle right there. Got it to go.
Alfonso, second chance rebound, pocket picked by Hooks. And back to Moody at the point. There's Moody. Changing speeds. Franklin on Moody. Uses size, speed to the right again. Right hand strong. He's in the right mood right now.
You are right about that. And you know what else he's in the mood for? To continue to attack that basket and attack those bigs of Montgomery. And he is getting the better of them right now.
And he seems to like that right side. As another empty trip here for the Raptors.
So as you say, he likes that right side. Now Montgomery knows that. They play him to the left. He initially goes left, and there you go with the spin move to find his teammate.
The spin and the feed to Lang. Moody is heating up. And a timeout for Montgomery College. As the lead has ballooned to 20, and here for a media timeout. 16:04 left. Be right back. After the break here, we got a substitution back on the floor for the first time. Second half is 6'11" Sebastian Ducum of the Raptors. Fonzo spots up. He's on a little bit of a streak here.
Yeah, that was poor defense there by the Skipjacks. Gave him too much space off the inbound. Basically dared him to shoot it, and with the way he's going right now, he's going to pull that and knock that down.
It paid off for Alfonso. As Lang was going to set the screen and got a little shove there. Call that on Alfonso. First personal for him.
And even when he gets a foul called his way, Andrew Sack's still not satisfied, yelling, he's done it the whole game. Where were the other ones? It's the Sacks we know.
Uh-oh. Wide open three, a rare miss there by Jones. It was a perfect setup and a great look. Moody kicks it out. Shaft Clark misses a three. Moody with the rebound. The point guard getting the rebound amongst the trees of the Raptors.
Not often you see Montgomery give up this many second chance opportunities, but they have.
Hooks steps back trying to get the foul. Shot was short, and goodness, Levy ran right into Sebastian and went out of bounds. And Dukin saying, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, it's been that kind of half so far. It's been that kind of game, really, for Montgomery at this point. Just kind of getting in their own way, and we're going to have another media timeout.
Yep, another media timeout. The lead is 18 for Chesapeake against Montgomery College. And we'll be back right after this. Back here in the game, 15 minutes left. Levy fighting with Moody. What's happening? Is it a jump ball?
Chesapeake's going to get a timeout.
Brandon, the timeout.
And Hooks will get a nice little beratement from the bench as well. So we'll stay on air for this one. It's tough inbounds play coming out of that timeout for Chesapeake there. Or excuse me for Chesapeake.
You're right.
Yeah,
Chesapeake. You're right.
Been a long day, my friend, but nonetheless, if you're Coach Stacks, basically you got a couple of timeouts left. Probably not a big deal anyway to lose it. And
sorry, the song selection is fantastic.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But nonetheless, if you're Chesapeake and whatnot, I expect to see the ball in Hook's hands or in LaShawn Moody's hands, try to generate some offense and maybe attack Dokum and his lack of speed and agility.
And Willie Jones inbounds it to Hooks. Setting the screen. Resistance 3 on the shot clock. Hooks puts it up. Hits the front of the rim. Willie Jones rebound. Another second chance rebound by the Skipjacks. Clark. Pressure being applied by Alfonso. And great defense that calls the turnover. Needed there for Montgomery College. Levy has it crossing half court. 14:35 left here on semifinal Friday. Pascal. Levy. Pick set by Alfonso. Loses the handle and turns it over. Empty trip for the Raptors. Moody. Calling over to Clark. Hooks flashing to his left. Moody steps back over to Willie Jones. Drive strong. Loses the handle off the knee of Abdul Mateen. Alonso has it. Dukin over to Abdul Mateen. Levy. Pascal. Maybe with a clean catch would have had a 3 there. Alfonso drives to his left. Rise fires. Side of the rim. Dukin fighting for it. It's Moody. Moody has it. And I think they're going to call the foul there on Dukem.
Yeah, hopefully Moody's all right. As when you get fouled on like that, you collide with a big fella as a little guy. That's tough.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Tough
it's a lot of.
It's a lot of weight.
It's a lot of a lot of humanities, and that's not even talking about on that previous couple of possessions with the on the floor there. So a lot of crashing and burning there for Moody, bumps and bruises. Hooks has the inbound pass here. Currently sitting at 17 on a scorching hot first half. Drive, step back. Lang. Looked like the pass might have been knocked away. But the official says, hey, going to the Raptors. Interesting. Levy over to Pascal. Abdul Mateen. Great deny there by Lang for Dokum. 3. Levy. Misses the front. Dokum skies for the rebound. Traveling violation.
Yeah, that's the right call. He went up and down. Now, Coach Jamal Wise wants a jump ball, but he's basically the referee saying that it wasn't joint possession there. It was Dokum's, and he just traveled on that. I thought that was the right call.
And bringing it up is Clark, breaking the initial press there by Montgomery. And Moody has it up here on the right side, right by the skipjack bench. Screen, float game, a little to the left, missed. Here come the Raptors. Pascal drives, baseline, right hand. And the foul, they call that on Pascal?
I don't think they're going to call a foul. I think they got it out of bounds.
Oh,
Stepped out of bounds, and then Chesapeake ball, as on the drive baseline,
yep.
just stepped out of
Right,
bounds right there on
right
that
over by
dragon
the R.
logo.
Yep, Dragon logo. Right Hooks has the inbound. 12:45. About 8 minutes gone by here in the second half on semifinal Friday. One spot left in the championship Sunday. Which one of these two teams will be in it? As pass knocked away. And last touch by the Skipjacks. Apparently the players don't think that is the case. In the meantime, number 0, Cortez Whitney will sub into the game.
Yeah, Chesapeake adamant that that was their ball, and I think they are right. I just got to look at the replay. That looked to be pretty clearly off of Ian Pascal.
And Cortez Whitney has it at the point. Pick set to the right by Alonzo. Cortez hits the back of the rim, missed the three. Pascal has the rebound. He's trapped. And it was deflected, staying here with the Raptors. He's surrounded by at least 3 skipjacks.
Yeah, and honestly, to be in that position in the corner with 3 skipjacks and to just hit it really another out of bounds, that's a win there for Montgomery in that situation.
That's crazy. Whitney, lane open and takes himself with the left hand.
Yeah, it was about time for Montgomery to get back on the board, and Whitney with the strong left-handed attack to the hole for 2.
And Whitney bringing it up for the Skipjacks.
Just a very simple ball screen on that one as well, where Lang was kind of cognizant of the 3, and in being cognizant of the 3 off the ball screen, left a wide open lane there for Whitney to attack.
And Lang was called for it in the paint there and able to draw the foul on Matisse. And what do you know, Sebastian, another media timeout. We're going to step aside here. Chesapeake up 16. We'll be right back. Back live, 11:40 left in the contest. Chesapeake still has a double-digit lead. Moody will inbound under the basket. And 5-second violation, was not able to get it in town.
Yeah, to have that coming out of a timeout's pretty embarrassing. That's the one situation that just cannot happen for Chesapeake at all. And maybe that's the start of what could be a boost in the comeback run for Montgomery. But they're running out of time here with 11:36. They might have done it with 8 minutes versus Dundalk. Chesapeake's another beast.
20 on the shot clock. Abdul Mateen, Hezzy, shot high off the glass, and that's good. First time we've called his name on the score sheet in quite some time. He's got 6 points.
Yeah, and they all expect more from him too. Abdul Mateen, Levy, and Ayesi Ito. All 3 have been fairly quiet in this one that they're going to need more production out of.
There was a point in time where he had 4 of the team's 6 points. And you don't want him to get hot. Willie Jones, corner 3, cash.
Yeah, and he was kind of struggling a little bit. 2 of 7, hadn't really made a shot in a while, but that's a big answer bucket there for Chesapeake to stop that Montgomery run.
An empty trip there for the Raptors. Jones on the rebound. Moody guarded by Whitney. Out to Clark. Curling around is Hooks. Moody. Corner 3. Front of the rim, Abdul-Mateen rebound. Abdul-Mateen Robinson. 3. Missed by Matisse. And going to Chesapeake. And substitution. Lockery subbing in for the Raptors, number 20. Ten minutes left. Moody finds Clark, drives strong to his left and finishes with the right hand. Even though they ask you to use your left hand, right hand is just fine if it goes in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a strong take and the ambidextrous Moody shows they can do it on both sides.
And pocket picked. Hooks behind the back. Lang finishes. The lead.
That was a ridiculous pass right there. And to do that in that situation as well, very gutsy. And especially knowing your head coach as well. Imagine if that did not work.
Oh, I didn't see the smooth behind the back. My vision was obscured by the players.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. But if that behind the back didn't work, Mount Sachs would have erupted.
I'm sure he's probably thinking as he was angry, God, that was a delicious time.
Oh, man.
I mean, you got to give him some leeway. He's had 5 threes today.
I think you score 100 and Sachs would still not give you any leeway.
Levy opens up the Levy with a Euro step and nice layup with the right hand going to his left.
Yeah, they need more from Levy and makes him 2 of 9 from the field. But he's more than capable of having a bigger impact than that for the Raptors. They need to get him going. A 3-level score has to get going for Montgomery here.
Lang bouncing down to the paint. Matisse with the block. Nice contain there by Matisse, using every inch of his 6'8" height. Wingspan probably in the 7-foot range. Moody inbounds it underneath. Jones inbound. Cash! Can't let him have that one. Goodness.
He's hot. And he just made one earlier. Drills another one. Now the lead back up to 22. And Chesapeake gets another turnover there, answering all the runs for Montgomery.
They are just speeding up this Raptors team. And the lead at 22 with 8:30 left. Hooks, 3. Come on! And the foul. Horsham, Pennsylvania, stand up. The Hooks are all in here in the second game.
And that's what happens when you're in a situation like this. You're trying to make a play so much. And Levy wants to make a block, wants to make a play for his team, but in doing so, foul the jump shooter, get an opportunity to complete a very rare 4-point play.
That's 20 for Brandon Hooks. The 6-foot sophomore from Horsham, Pennsylvania. Cannot convert the 4-pump play, but Lang gets the rebound. Stripped. Alonzo. Levy. Speed. He lays it up to the right. Hooks. Not using the screen. He's looking for Lang on the cut there. Moody cuts with him and loses the handle trying to get the pass and turns it over.
Yeah, a very rare mistake there for Moody, but trying to make a play on that one and just happened to not find a skipjack there. I like this for Montgomery offensively, rolling the ball, preserving as much clock as possible.
Levy has it at the top. Float, high off the glass, hits the back and misses Lang. Yet another rebound.
Yeah, Levy tried to initiate some contact there, wanted to get a foul on that one. Kind of threw himself in, and the skipjack defender referee was not biting on that, nor should he, as that was not a foul. But Montgomery's running out of time to try to make a comeback here. Got to get stops and scores. Got to get up and down the floor. You basically got to play Chesapeake's game now.
Moody, shot clock going down, misses everything. Alonso recovers it. Tala, a little bit too much mustard on there. And through the hands of Levy. And after this media timeout, Franklin IEC Atul will sub into the game. I'll be right back. .7:18 left inbound here by Willie Jones over to Moody. Deficit is down to 23 for the Raptors. They need to score, and they could have had a pick there. Hooks, three. Mama, there goes that man again.
He just has answer after answer for Chesapeake, and now Montgomery just really, 26-point deficit with 6:50 to go. They get a timeout.
I think that was
here.
the last one, too.
Yes, it is. That is their final timeout. So it will be a full timeout. So we'll return after this full timeout. But Montgomery down 26 has to get something going right now in order to stand any chance.
All right, back here from the break. 6:50 left. Inbounds pass. Pascal. Matisse Shot long. Jones and Moody were fighting for the rebound, teammates, but Moody has it. And the time in the hourglass is starting to run short for the Raptors. They're down 26. Clark out by the 3-point line. Over to Hooks. He's going to drive the lane, kick it out. Moody, pump fake. Picks up his foot. Passes out to Jones. Shot clock at 1. Jones. And might have been partially blocked. Does touch the rim, so it's going to be a shot clock violation. And Levy has it. 6 minutes left. Matisse drives, turns with his right hand. Not enough on that one. Hits the front of the rim. Rebound Chesapeake.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Montgomery at this point. Down 26. I think you might see some end of the bench guys at this point because 26 points. You really, even if with you go stop score, it's going to be virtually impossible. And offensive foul and has got Andrew Sachs doing the mad march, but nonetheless did push off with the extended arm. Even in a 26-point game,
Still going to coach the very end.
still going to coach the very end. So
No doubt. It doesn't matter how many points he's up. I've learned that here in 2 days.
yeah, there you go.
He's always locked in.
But as locked in as he is on the officials, he's even more locked in on his team. That's why he's consistently winning and recruits winners. And quite frankly, if things hold as they do, as Aisha Toe drives and gets it blocked, I think you're going to get the two best coaches in this region in the final. Coach Smelkinson, who's obviously, I'm biased toward that, but he's a notorious winner. But so is Coach Sachs. And one of those two looks like will hoist that Region 20 Division II trophy.
Hooks. All right now. All right now. You need to stop it. Enough. Enough is enough.
He is on a mad heater today, Brandon Hooks. 8 of 10 from 3, 26 points as a foul is called.
If Bill Rafter was in this building, you would hear onions or onions. Double order, maybe a triple order, if you will. I think that's 7 threes tonight. And the Raptors here at the foul line. First one's good. Lockery, Whitney subbing in for Montgomery. Two for two on the trip. Moody. Over to Jones. Floats it to Clark.
Montgomery trying to force pressure. He trapped a couple times there, trying to see if the guards of Chesapeake would be a little loose with the ball, but good job by them to not be.
Lockery on Moody. 6 on the shot clock. Lang lost it. Picks it back up and lays it up with the left hand there.
While traveling at the same time.
I thought so. He definitely picked up his dribble. Alfonso Edsel's right back.
Don't think it will matter much in the grand scheme of things, though.
Jump ball is going to go back to Montgomery College.
Now, if you're Chesapeake, you don't want to inbound it into the corner where you have not only the trap coming with two guys, but now you have both the baseline and the sideline that you would go against. That's the worst spot you can be in a situation like that.
That is a cardinal sin, Sebastian.
Yeah, so that's tough for Chesapeake, but got to be smarter in those situations like that. Cannot inbound it in the corner. That's what Montgomery wants.
There's a quick inbound. Abdul Mateen Robinson and one.
Yeah, another defensive breakdown there from Chesapeake. I like the formation there of that play by Montgomery. It was almost like a football style play where you have one inbounder and four. And it's just a very simple by Abdul Mateen Robinson, kind of gave two arms, not in terms of like a foul, but just a little get off me, dove to the basket, got the opportunity to complete a 3-point play, which he could not.
And Moody going the wrong way. He's got to get across court. He's stuck and just gets it across.
Thought he traveled on that one too, but nonetheless, referees did not agree.
Lockreed just hounding Lang and get the steal. And a wonderful catch. Levy. Wow, what a grab. That was almost like an NFL catch. And able to go all in two motion and score. And we got a media timeout here with 3:41. Skipjack's up on the Raptors, 66-43. We'll be right back. .341 left here. Chesapeake still with the large lead on Montgomery. And pass deflected but caught by Hooks. What we saw in that first game there, Sebastian with the trading in with the inbounds. Two guys inbounding on the baseline.
Yeah.
Hooks, Rivers, feet set, missed the three. Fortuitous bounce to the Skipjacks as Moody has it. Dribbles out of trouble and out to Hooks. And Franklin Isiato still playing tough here, trying to punch the ball out there with a foul.
Yeah, and on that lob play, that obviously wasn't intended for Hooks. That was intended to go all the way full court to Willie Jones. That was a pretty risky play, an athletic play to get hands on it there. But Montgomery could not get a rebound off the Rivers miss, and that's for a team of Montgomery's size to be out rebounded 42-34 that's pretty shocking to say the least.
It's an eye opener for the amount of size they got.
Obviously, the winner of this game facing off versus Howard, which is looking like it's going to be Chesapeake. It'll be interesting to see with Cradle likely not going to be available for that game as well. Are they going to continue to go with these six guys, and how long can they endure? Can they endure another 40-minute battle versus the Dragons?
And 7 on the shot clock. That'll be an interesting battle to see. 3, 2, Freddie Jones. I'm sorry, Willie Jones misses. Alfonso has it. Fell, but get the pass off. Benito Cala. Corner 3, Levy. Misses. Rivers rebound. Holding it up high and yeah, foul there. And with them being in the bonus, I think this will be a 1-and-1 situation.
No,
here.
they called the foul on Montgomery on that.
Montgomery. Okay.
Yeah, they got Lowry.
They got 6. Okay, I'm sorry, looking at the wrong team. Moody, lane open, Passes it down, and the foul there by Lockery. Strong foul there on Clark.
And I think the referees are going to talk about maybe potentially making this a flagrant. Coach Sachs wants a review. I can see Chesapeake's frustrations here. Montgomery's obviously frustrated, angry, being a little more physical on this one. And they're going to get a review here to see if this is upgraded to a flagrant foul, penalty 1. I think it's the right move too by the officials, and just to settle both teams down. Montgomery, obviously, this game did not go to plan. They definitely didn't expect to lose by this amount. Versus a Skipjack's team, which quite frankly, they came out and shocked a lot of people here today. They battled, they fought very hard, and they deserve a ton of credit. But if you're Chesapeake, I can understand being worried about player safety and whatnot with aggressive hard fouls like that. So we'll see what the referees come up with here at the monitor.
And more credit for Chesapeake for continuing to sustain their great shooting play that they carried over from the first game. Except this time it wasn't just Willie Jones, it was Brandon Hooks here, who to our count sitting at 26 points, 8 of 10 from downtown to go along with filling the stat sheet, 6 steals, 4 assists.
And they needed somebody to really take the mantle from Cradle, because Cradle's obviously been their leading scorer and whatnot. And Hooks has done that and then some. So Hooks has been just really on fire for Chesapeake, and he deserves a ton of credit, and they're going to need him to do this in the championship game versus Howard.
And after that review, the officials called this a common foul. So it's going to be your standard 2 free throws as Clark makes the first. Sitting at 9 points. Make that 10. So that's 3 Chesapeake Skipjacks with points in double figures today. Whitney drives the lane, misses, and fouls. Call that on Clark.
And that's his 5th. So Clark, he's on the stat sheet. You take a look at the stat sheet and see 3 of 11. Not really the best day, but he's been very good for them in terms of the defensive end of the floor, being able to guard multiple positions on switches and whatnot, and then cleaning up the glass, limiting Montgomery's second chance opportunities against a team with a lot of size. So overall, a solid day with room for improvement.
Strong 8 rebounds, very effective ones. It's this tough front line that consists for the Raptors of Sebastian Dulcum as well as the other bigs. A lot of length. And the free throw is missed. Rebound by Jones. Moody over to Jones. They got to get it across the court line. And they do. Over to Hooks. And his Lockery still playing tough. Moody drives. Skies. No. Lang can't finish with a putback. Alfonso over to Levy. And misses the dunk.
Yeah, it's been that kind of game for Montgomery there. Trying to make a statement down 25 probably was not the right play. Dunk and the layup are worth the same amount of points there. So obviously Levy would want to have that one back. He's had a tough night, very uncharacteristic night, 4 of 14 from the field. That's not like Christopher Levy, but he's not the only Raptor that's had a rough night. The whole team's basically had a rough night. Ayusi Ito, 0 of 9 from the field. Matthias Spin, 0 of 6 from the field. So when you got your three of your main guys to be in that situation like that, it's hard to overcome and win.
Very, very slow, very lethargic on the offensive end. This point's a bit hard to come by. As from what we've seen, just the frenetic 3-point shooting of Chesapeake is just sped up Montgomery on the other end, and they just haven't been able to convert enough to stay in this one.
Yeah, the Chesapeake defense has given them multiple different looks too. They've just stifled everything Montgomery's trying to do offensively. And if you're Chesapeake, however, you are up 25. You don't want to foul in this situation. They just did with the defensive foul trying to reach in there. It's a 25-point game. Just let this play out. Worst thing you can do is foul. If they score, they score. They're not coming back. This game's
Right.
over. It'd be pretty historic if they pulled this off. Let's
Yeah. March Madness indeed. That's the fifth one on Lockery, and he is done for the night. So Moody will be at the line.
And you can tell it's starting to set in for Montgomery, the reality that this one's basically over. And they have a lot to be proud about. A lot of times, what I say for growth is how you improve from last season. And they improved from last season tremendously. They were the 7th seed last year. This year, they were ranked nationally at one point. They had a little bit of a slip up down the stretch, but to only lose 2 games in region regular season play, uh, they should be proud for their continued improvement. And I know they're going to look to take that step next year and actually try to win the whole thing.
Yeah, they were in a virtual three-way tie atop the Region 20 with Montgomery, Cecil, and Howard all sitting at 11 and 2. It was a logjam as those three were fighting for the top seed. And just look at where they were last year, 14 and 16, losing to Catonsville in the first round of this tournament last year to improve to 23 and 7. It's quite a feat.
Yeah, it definitely is.
In a year's time.
It definitely is. That's for sure. And got a lot to be proud about. That's for sure.
And Hooks at the line makes the first, continues to add to his point total. And hits both. 136 left, 72-45 is the score. Chesapeake closing in on a trip to the championship game tomorrow. Moody going to dribble it out. Rivers to Jones. Bounce pass to Lang. They're going to kill some time here. Moody to his left. Foul there on Franklin.
Yeah, you see Ito picking up his 4th there on that one. But Chesapeake, give them a ton of credit. A 6-man rotation. They've worked really hard to just conjure up the energy and the ability to stifle Montgomery on the offensive end of the floor. Montgomery just they could not have had a worse day offensively in terms of from the 3-point line. They were 1 of 17 for 3, a 5.9% from the 3-point line, 18 of 56, 32% from the field. It's just a really rough day for Montgomery, and you combine that with the 18 turnovers and being out rebounded by 8 on the glass to a smaller team in Chesapeake. It was a complete all-around performance for the Skipjacks, and they deserve to move on to the final.
And Moody hits it. 73-45, 1:05 left. Alfonso misses. Ball spun out. Benito Cala on the score sheet there for 2. 1 minute remaining. Moody. Gonna dribble it out over to Jones. Back to Moody.
And Montgomery coach is basically telling the players to lay off now. Admire the fight by the Raptors team. Definitely didn't give up here in this one. Just outclassed today by a Skipjack team, and that's what March can bring. A lot of upsets, and this is another one that'll go down as a pretty big upset.
Most certainly. This is the 7th seed Chesapeake Skipjacks. And just taking a quick look at what they did last year, 14-17, similar to what Montgomery did. They lost in the first round to the College of Southern Maryland, and turning it around to a 24-6 campaign. And looking like they are on their way back to the Region 20 championship as Osman Manasray, the 5'11 freshman from Albert Einstein High School. And here's the final seconds tip-off. Hooks with the ball in his hand. After the way he's played today, he's the guy you want with the ball.
Yeah,
To finish it off.
rightfully deserved to dribble it out. He earned that today. Played spectacularly for the Skipjacks, and they're going on to the championship game.
That's right. That is the final, 73-49. The Skipjacks of Chesapeake beat the Raptors of Montgomery as Chesapeake will sail their way on to the title game tomorrow, where the host team, the 1 seed, the reigning defending Region 20 champion Howard Dragons await the Skipjacks.
Yeah, it will be a very fun battle between these two teams. Howard, obviously the defending champion, the champion before Howard in 2023, the Chesapeake
Oh, is that
Skipjacks.
so? Is that so?
So these two teams know how to win, and it'll be a fascinating battle to see who comes out on top and earns the bid to go to Danville, Illinois.
We thank you for joining us here for night 2 of 3 of this 2025 NJCAA Division II Regional Conference Tournament. I'm Tim Toon Jr. Thank you for joining us with Sebastian Merrick. We'll see you tomorrow for the championship game, 3 p.m. Be there or be square. Good night.